All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rohit again with a very, very special guest, Rob Reader. And it's an honor to have you on the commentary box. Thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us. For those of you who do not know, he holds 9 national titles in the Dutch Championships, and that's a record that only he shares with Dicky Palyama since 2008. For all the people who have been playing this sport for decades, you all must know Rob because of his tremendous performance in the years ago. Rob, tell us about your career in general in badminton and a bit about your club, BC Duinwijck.
Well, I started to play as a kid. I was not even 6 years old, and I started at my club Duinwijck in Haarlem. And in the beginning, I was not allowed even to play because I was not reached 6 years old, and they kicked me out again. So when I became 6, I was coming back, and from then I think it marched to international player. So I played with so many good players in the world, like Fleming Dels and Morten Frost and other Danes, and also international players like Rudy Hartono from Indonesia. They were far too good for me, but still I was able to compete with them, and so that was most enjoyable time.
Right. Okay. Rob, from your international exposure in your times when you were playing continuously in 1970s, 1980s, maybe early 80s, did you see any significant difference between Dutch badminton and Asian badminton, particularly, and maybe even Danish badminton back in your day?
Well, I think we were very fortunate in my time that badminton sport was really growing in Europe, and especially in the Netherlands, because we grew from I think merely 15,000 members to well above 100,000 members, and in those days, and television was broadcasted almost every week. Even normal league matches were broadcasted by Dutch television. So it was a very upcoming popular sport in those days. So I was very fortunate to play in that era. That's the big difference between those days and nowadays, because nowadays it seems that it is not so popular anymore, at least in the Netherlands, which is so unfortunate. We need to market the sport again, I think, in a different way, so that it becomes well known under the public.
Yeah, indeed. And in just terms, I'm sure you would have noticed a lot of evolution of badminton over the last 3-4 decades.
Sure.
What are some of the major differences that you see in the way it was played back in your time compared to today?
I think if you look to first of all to the technical part, the rackets became lighter. Yeah. The shuttles became better than in those days, because in the past you did one smash and it was flat, and then you need to replace it. And the stamina of all top players nowadays is incredible. They can play for it sounds like for ages, and they don't get tired, which is slightly different from the past, where I think it was a kind of semi-professional game where people had a normal work besides badminton. Nowadays, you see that they can go on forever almost. It sounds like rallies of 30-40 shots is quite normal. In my days, I think it was an exception if there was a rally of 30 shots.
Right. Yeah. We are going to just wait for 1 point to be served. I think Gail and what do you think of this event as a whole, how it's being conducted this year?
Yeah, well, it's most unfortunate that we have Corona, and that I think Dutch Badminton didn't even have a knowledge that they could have some audience during the matches. And I think it was only 2 weeks ago that it was allowed to have some public at this event. So it gives a bit strange feeling to be in this hall at this moment with so less people in the hall. But that I think it's a fact of the Corona and the late publication that spectators were allowed, which is most unfortunate because especially the finals are great, some great matches.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we have some really good viewership on YouTube who's following these matches and trying to see what's happening with the top talent of Netherlands. Tell us something about BC Duinwijck. That's the club that you have always lived and maybe grew up with.
Yeah. Well, we were very fortunate that in the beginning, when we started playing, that Duinwijck was growing, and they had the possibility to bring an own hall in Haarlem. So at that time, the badminton sport in Haarlem became even more popular than it was already, and so we became a very, very strong club, which was unbeatable for a decade. And I think that helped us producing all the time new talents because they could play every day. And since 2018 we have a new hall, which is again especially made for badminton. And I hope that it can give a boost again in the way that I learned to play badminton in my days. So I think the basis is there to have to make it a growing sport again in Haarlem.
Okay. Do you believe that dedicated halls is one of the main reasons why Duinwijck has been able to produce talent over the years?
Definitely, because we can give the possibility to each talent to play every day. For example, Chloe Meyer, she played this morning, and she can call me. Can I go into the hall today or tomorrow, tomorrow morning, tomorrow evening? So sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way to help players to become better. And you can't improve if you only play once a week.
Yeah, totally agreed. We'll just watch this point. So you spoke about marketing badminton better. Could you elaborate on what steps that we can take in Netherlands to give our youth, the next generation, a big boost in pursuing this sport seriously?
Sure. Well, I think the way we play the game now and how we can do the sport is still the same as 50 years ago. But we change as a society. There's less time, and if people want to fill in their time, they want to have fun and value for money. So it means that I think we have to change the way we promote the game to people. It's a good for health. It's a social sport. There's no violence whatsoever. So it's a great sport to learn other people, but also to work on your health conditions. And I think those are the elements we can use to bring a better marketing of our sport.
Yeah. Rob, you have been blessed with a wife or a partner who has been a professional badminton player as well. She has played a lot of badminton. How was that journey along with when you were trying to pursue your career?
Sorry, I lost the question once again.
You have partner who has also been an avid badminton player.
Yeah.
And then you both belonging to the badminton world. How was that journey together?
Yeah, well, sometimes a bit strange because even if you go for a dinner, then you talk about badminton. That sounds crazy, of course. And during these kinds of events, and especially in the preparation, we better did not talk to each other because we were nervous and we were only focusing on the result. But that took a long time. But still, we're both so much involved in badminton. Marianne is coaching kids already for more than 50 years, and she's still having fun doing that. So it won't change. Badminton is part of our life.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Beyond badminton, what do you and Miriam do to just take your minds out of badminton and then also have a different zone in which you can have fun?
Oh yes. We since a short while we have 2 grandchildren, which is big fun.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And but other than that, I have my normal job, and beside that, we like to travel. We have a caravan which we really enjoy if we have time to go, and if Corona allows. I play a bit of golf and try to do each time better, which is sometimes a very frustrating sport, because in badminton I can play on a line, but in golf I cannot play straight, and sometimes I can, but the other time I cannot, and I do not know why. And that's challenging.
Yeah. All right, Rob. I just wanted to say that it's an honor to have you speak with us. Also, I'm sure a lot of viewers on YouTube know you because of your performances, and so I'm sure they are enjoying this opportunity to see you on the camera.
Okay.
Thank you so much for spending time
You're
with
welcome.
us, and have a great time this evening.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.